Okay, welcome back. I hope that everybody had a very enjoyable Thanksgiving time with your family. So, in the last video, I kind of left off talking about how in the next video, we would talk about people who've written to Josh Stein and what some of the answers have been. And of course, I showed a little envelope where my name was handwritten out in blue ink. And now I'm going to read you the letter. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to write to my office. It is good to hear from you. Like you, I am concerned about people's safety in our state. However, as North Carolina's Attorney General, I do not investigate complaints of judicial misconduct against North Carolina judges and justices. I would encourage you to consider sharing your concerns with the North Carolina Judicial Standards Commission at the phone number. You can also submit a North Carolina Judicial Standards complaint here, and it gives me the website. Again, thank you for your letter. Protecting the people of North Carolina is my top priority, and hearing from people across the state helps me better do my job as your Attorney General. Please do not hesitate to share your perspective with me or my office in the future. Sincerely, Josh Stein. And of course, we didn't hesitate to share our perspective with Josh Stein or his office. The only problem is they're just not upholding law. And one of the big reasons why they don't uphold law is because people, the common people, the people just every day, they don't really know what the law is. So they don't know when to see if it's being upheld or not. And that's a big problem. So now, let me read to you the letter that we wrote to Josh Stein. Greetings, Josh. It has been almost 1 year since Thomas McAvoy Britton ordered my unlawful arrest on March 26 of 2018, and almost 10 months since our last communication. I trust, as man who acts as Attorney General, you advised your clients properly. This communication is courteous. To inform you, I write all three branches of government to express enforcement of law. I wish to thank you for Tamara S. Hill's kind, proper, and professional answer last year. Hill's document was well thought out, and actors of local government did not even have the courtesy to answer, but sent men with guns to look for me and threaten me with another arrest. I pray this nightmare will end soon, and I may enjoy my family, retirement, and the years I remain here on earth, as I am 88 years old. Any aid and assistance your office could afford to give this situation is greatly appreciated. Thank you, God bless, and good year to you and your family. Okay, so this was actually a letter written by Henry Ramo. And I sent something very similar with different words and expressing my own situation because Henry Ramo and I both got arrested on March 26 of 2018, all for Henry just saying that woman wasn't his attorney, the woman who was sitting before the court acting on his behalf.
Judge,
Listen.
my name is Henry Ramo. That's my case they're talking about. And she is not my attorney of record. She's not my attorney of record. I'm telling you now, that's my case.
From the courtroom. Have the sheriff take Mr. Ramos, if that's his name, into custody.
Don't put those on me. I don't give you permission to touch me.
This is how lawless our society has become, where an 87-year-old man who's now 90 got arrested just for standing up in court and saying that woman's not my attorney. And I'm going to link a video that I did about court and jurisdiction up here, but the court never wrote out an order for holding me. They never filed it properly. They never returned it properly. And this was almost 3 years ago. So when I tell you that if this hasn't happened to you yet, it will. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Because even Greg Newman, in an article that the Citizens Time did, said that he would do this again. But that's for another video, another day. Now, I would like to read to you another letter that was received by somebody who actually wrote him over this particular case about Greg Newman. Thank you for contacting me regarding the investigation of a criminal matter. As you know, district attorneys are elected public officials who represent the state of North Carolina in the prosecution of criminal matters. Attorneys at the North Carolina Department of Justice, NCDOJ, are available to assist in the prosecution of criminal cases, but only when requested to do so by the district attorney due to a conflict of interest, increased volume in their caseload, or when they need a particular set of expertise in a case pursuant to North Carolina General Statute, whatever. NCDOJ attorneys have neither the authority to infringe upon the power given to district attorneys and assume ongoing investigations, nor the general authority to request investigations by the State Bureau of Investigation and other criminal investigations. If you believe a district attorney has committed a wrongdoing, you can contact your local law enforcement officials or the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. I hope this information is helpful, and again, thank you for contacting me. Please do not hesitate to contact our office again in the future. Well, I don't know how you took that, but I basically took that as he's not going to do his job. He's just flat out telling the public he's not going to do his job. I mean, what law enforcement officer is going to investigate the district attorney over him? Their life would turn into hell. None of them are going to do that. And Josh Stein knows this. But what does he care? Nobody's going to make him do his job. And they just think that the people of North Carolina are too stupid to know that he's not doing his job. Plus, what do you think that they pay for all this media relations for? So that they don't have to do their job. Anyways, let's take a look at Josh Stein's website and see if it's his job or not. Okay, here is Josh Stein's website. Task Force for Racial Equality and Criminal Justice. Because, you know, discrimination, when people are fighting with each other, they'll look into that. Act like they're doing something. Report robocalls. They'll also make sure that everybody has the right to vote. Because that's you giving them consent for doing what they're doing. Let's see what it says about open government. Open government laws are known as sunshine laws because they help shed light on the government's work. Which is exactly what I think the public needs to start doing, is shining light on the actual work that the government is doing. Public integrity. Attorney General Stein and the Department of Justice help citizens know their rights and responsibilities under the law. We actively prosecute officials who violate the public trust. That's kind of strange because you just said to somebody in your letter that you're not going to prosecute an official who not only violated the public's trust, but it's a fact upon the record of a North Carolina state court. What is there to investigate, Josh Stein? Department lawyers prosecute and oversee investigations of public corruption cases. Our department has handled hundreds of criminal cases against elected and appointed officials. That's interesting because you just told that other individual that you guys couldn't do that and they had to go talk to local law enforcement or the SBI, the State Bureau of Investigation. So, Josh Stein, why are you lying to the people? Why? Oh, because, well, you just don't care to do your job. I mean, what's anybody gonna do about it? What a joke. Our lawyers bring cases against judicial employees and law enforcement personnel through the State Judicial Standards Commission and Law Enforcement Training and Standards Commissions. That's really interesting because when Henry Ramo and I wrote you back in 2019, you basically told us that you couldn't do that. And then you say that protecting the people of North Carolina is your top priority. Josh Stein, either do your job or quit lying to the people of North Carolina. Just one of the two. Just one of the two. Hey. Alright. It's something that I absolutely forgot to put in here, so I'm just going to cut this in to the middle of the video I already made about Josh Stein. The thought crossed my mind that a lot of people, because people don't really know law, they don't understand why Josh Stein would have to be the one to investigate and prosecute. So let me explain this to you. Police officers, under no type of authority, there's nothing that says police, no law. And in fact, a lot of people get off of cases because police don't know law. And this is why they can't make legal determinations. Now, when you're dealing with feds, this is why the feds bat a 95% conviction rate, is because, well, federal officers do know law. A lot of FBI agents and DEA agents have law degrees. Some of them are bar certified. So that's kind of the difference. And it's just another reason why you cannot expect the SBI or the local law enforcement to go after a district attorney. And they all knew this way back in the day. So I'm going to read you some constitutions from 1776. Maryland, Section 30. Judges ought to hold commissions during good behavior, but removed for misbehavior on conviction in a court of law. Right there, what it's telling you is that judges are not immune to a court of law. They don't have judicial immunity. You can go and hold a man or a woman accountable in a court of law as long as you had a lawful reason, like they were impersonating a judge. You see, every single state has on their statutes it's unlawful to impersonate a judge. Well, why would they have that on their statutes if only their judges, their elected judges, could actually act as a judge? And I'll tell you why. Because they're just acting. It's just an act. Okay? So they can impersonate their judge person while they're sitting up on the bench. It's called doing something unlawful, like throwing somebody into jail for 48 hours without issuing the proper paperwork, without stamping it in. Even if you had stamped it in, if you didn't actually have jurisdiction, you would be impersonating a judicial officer because you would not be acting like a judge at that moment in time. South Carolina Constitution. All judicial officers shall be chosen, commissioned during good behavior, but shall be removed on address. Okay? Delaware, 1776, Article 5. Expel any of their own members for misbehavior. Pennsylvania, 1776, Article 4. All officers of government, whether legislative or executive, are their trustees and servants and at all times accountable to them, the people. Section 23, Pennsylvania again. The judges of the Supreme Court of Judicature, removable for misbehavior at any time. North Carolina, 1776. Section 13 or Article 13. So this is right up your alley, North Carolina. The General Assembly shall, by joint ballot of both houses, appoint judges of the Supreme Courts of Law and Equity, judges of Admiralty and Attorney General, who shall be commissioned by the governor and hold their offices during time of good behavior. they know what good behavior is. Okay, but cops, SBI, they don't have the education to go after a man acting as an attorney, acting as a district attorney who's not actually performing his functions in law as a district attorney. And this is exactly why Josh Stein's website says that it's his job to go after the elected officials, is because that's his common law duty. That's his common law duty to you, the public. Sorry for the little interruption. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay, well, now that we've looked at his website and we know what his job is, it is absolutely his job to prosecute crimes that state publicly elected officials commit. And there is absolutely no question on whether Greg Newman committed a crime or not. There's not even a question about it. It's already been found on the court record of the Bar Association for the state. They've already found the fact that he violated the Constitution, which means he violated the oath to the Constitution by not informing VO of the plea deal that he had with James Sapp. And he didn't have any time to inform VO because the afternoon he offered that plea deal to James Sapp's attorney, they moved right before court and got it done. And even though a judge can overturn the verdict of a jury, called verdict notwithstanding, after years of knowing that VO's rights were violated, even the presiding judge, Athena Brooks, never overturned the plea deal. What a joke. If you think these people are going to protect you or your rights, you're sadly mistaken. And if you don't stand with other people who are standing up for their rights, you're not going to have any when they come after you. And you're not going to have anybody to stand with because they already got to the rest of them. Nobody else is going to have any energy, ability, fight, effort left inside their heart to keep moving. How would you feel if it happened to you? Anyways, just some food for thought. If you are going to write Josh Stein, don't tell him what to do. Just tell him what his job is. Every man can do as they wish. And in my opinion, by not doing his job, he's violating the same oath that Greg Newman was violating. It says right there on his website, it's his job to prosecute public officials. He knows what his job is. Anyways, hope you come back. If you believe in this, if you don't wish to see violence, if you believe paper, pen, and ink can get us our rights back, join us. Share this. Talk with somebody about it. And if you don't be surprised when they come and take your rights. Don't be surprised when they come and take your property. Don't be surprised when they turn your life upside down. Don't be surprised when you go and report crimes and they don't prosecute. Because we're telling you right now, that's what they do. That's what they do. Because the public, apparently, is not going to make sure that they uphold law. The public, apparently, doesn't wish to have rights for themselves or their children. I am just conspiracy, and I just wish to conspire with other good people of this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in.
I am the Attorney General of North Carolina. I was elected back in 2016, and I love this job of serving as the people's Attorney General. Every day I get to go to work with very talented, dedicated folks to protect the people of this state in so many different ways. We protect families by combating crime, eliminating the backlog of untested sexual assault kits and making sure it never develops again, protecting kids from child sex abusers, fighting against domestic violence, combating the opioid epidemic. It's been one of the biggest issues I've worked on, and I've enjoyed the opportunities to be with you and others at UNC TV talking about that issue. But we do more than that. We protect seniors and vulnerable people from scam artists, robocallers, ensuring that our natural resources are beautiful. The air that we breathe and water we drink is safe and clean for people. Protecting folks' fundamental rights like the right to vote, the right to be free from discrimination. So these are issues I have been working on as the Attorney General of North Carolina, and these are issues I will continue to work on if reelected.
Now, you worked under then Attorney General Roy Cooper, if I'm not mistaken.